I, 28M, work in construction project management. My entire life is built on blueprints, rigid schedules, and structural integrity. If a beam is rotting, you replace it. If the foundation is cracked, you fix it before the whole thing falls on your head. I've spent my career identifying weak points in skyscrapers, but I somehow missed the massive sinkhole under my own relationship for the last 3 years. 2 weeks ago was my 28th birthday. I woke up expecting a nice morning, maybe some coffee and a happy birthday from the woman I shared a life with. Instead, I reached for my phone and found a text sent at 6:45 a.m. It was short, cold, and calculated. We need to break up. I've been thinking about this for a while, and my heart just isn't in it anymore. I'm staying at a friend's for a few days. Don't call me. I sat on the edge of the bed for a full 20 minutes, just staring at the dust motes in the morning light. No apology for the timing. No, I'm sorry it's your birthday. Just a digital pink slip while I was still half asleep. I didn't freak out. I didn't blow up her phone with desperate why messages. I've dealt with enough site delays to know when a project is dead and the contractor has walked off the job. I just replied with one word. Okay. The thing is, her 26th birthday was exactly 10 days after mine. For months, I'd been planning this massive diamond and denim surprise party at a private mountain lodge. I dropped a $2,500 non-refundable catering deposit, hired a live band, and bought her a $4,000 diamond necklace that was currently sitting in my sock drawer. All our mutual friends were in on it. I'd even flown in her favorite cousin from out of state. By noon on my birthday, I was sitting at a bar with her best friend, 25F, to show her the text. She looked like she wanted to crawl into a hole. She finally admitted she knew my girlfriend was planning to leave. Apparently, my ex's college sweetheart, the guy who got away but actually just cheated on her and moved to California, was back in town for a few weeks. She wanted to be single and available to chase him before he left again. She literally dumped me on my birthday so she could spend her own birthday week with a guy who had already proven he was trash. The entitlement was unreal. She expected me to just sit quietly in the house I pay for while she played house with her destiny. I told her best friend that the party was still on, but the guest of honor was changing. Since her best friend had done all the legwork and it was her birthday month too, I told her the party was for her now. I sent an update to the group chat, minus my ex, explaining exactly what happened. Most of our friends were disgusted by her timing and immediately flipped to Team Me. A few days later, my ex's destiny blew up in her face. The ex-boyfriend was actually engaged and told her she was just a fun memory, but he wasn't interested in reopening that chapter. Suddenly, she was on her mom's couch with no boyfriend, no backup plan, and a very tarnished reputation. She had the audacity to call me sobbing, saying she made a mistake, and asking if we could still go to the lodge next weekend because she really needed the getaway to clear her head. I told her the lodge was happening, but she wasn't invited. Then the dirty trick started. Her mother is a paralegal and sent me this incredibly aggressive email threatening me with an unlawful eviction because I'd changed the smart lock codes on my house. I reminded her that her daughter sent me a written text saying she was staying at a friend's and don't call me, which in the state of Ohio constitutes voluntary abandonment of a residence. I had her stuff packed by professional movers and sent to her mom's via a courier with a cash-on-delivery invoice for the shipping. I wasn't paying a dime more to move a person who didn't want to be there. The entitlement didn't stop there. My ex even tried to call the catering company to redirect the $2,500 worth of party food to her mom's house for a small family gathering, claiming she was the rightful owner of the event because it was her birthday party. Luckily, my vendors are professionals. They only listened to me since I held the contract, and my name was on the credit card. The night of the party, I had 2 off-duty officers at the lodge gate. Sure enough, she showed up in the blue dress I'd sent back to her, screaming that she was the guest of honor and that I was emotionally abusing her by locking her out of her birthday celebration. I stood at the gate and told her that in the real world, the person who pays the bill owns the party. She tried to claim emotional labor for the months she spent talking about the party, but the officers told her to get in her car or get arrested for trespassing. She peeled out in the dirt, tearing the hem of her dress on a bramble as she went. While I was at the party, my home security app went off. Her mother was at my front door with a heavy brass planter, trying to smash the smart lock. I called the cops back in the city while I was still at the lodge. They caught her red-handed. When they searched her bag, they found a stack of my personal tax returns and bank statements she'd stolen from my home office before the breakup. She'd planned to use them to build a domestic partnership case for a settlement. She went from a civil dispute to felony burglary and identity theft in one night. The final cleanup happened 2 weeks later. I returned the $4,000 necklace and used the cash to book a first-class trip to Tokyo. In a mediation meeting, my ex and her mother were desperate. The mother's career was on the line because of the criminal charges. I didn't drop the charges, but I agreed to a no-contact injunction and a repayment schedule for the door frame she smashed and the catering she tried to scam. My ex cried and asked why I was being so mean since it was just a breakup. I told her that a breakup is a conversation, but what she did was a hostile takeover attempt of my dignity. I'm writing this from a high-rise in Shinjuku now. The view is way better when you aren't paying for someone else's delusions of grandeur. If you enjoyed seeing a project manager finish a job on time and under budget, make sure to subscribe. Just don't expect me to pay for your emotional labor.